I didn't mean to start that again. Hey, music fans, and welcome back. Today, we are once again going through my top 100 favorite albums, and we are really getting close to my favorite album. We got two more videos. We got this one, and we got the next one, and all the albums we're talking in these videos are amazing. They're just fantastic. We're really getting down to my favorite ones. So, thank you guys for watching. And recap: this is my list. This is not what I feel are like the most important or objectively best albums of all time. They're just my favorites, which is why you're going to see a lot of the same artists on here. I have not done this in any of my videos so far, so I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to give some special shout outs. I'm going to give a shout out to Nick Yarembinski. We're at Townsend 505, who is doing his top 100 favorite albums right now. And a shout out to Jason the Old Millennial, who's also doing his top 100 favorite albums. We're kind of comparing our lists. And a shout out to Jacob Martin and Ryan Cam, who are both watching the series and decided that they'd like to listen to all of the albums on this series. So shout outs to them, which is pretty much everyone who makes up the group, the Music Junkies. But let's go ahead and get started. I'll jump right in on number 20. This is Elton John's self-titled album. Number 20. It is my favorite Elton John album, and it is such a great album. This is actually released as his second album, but in the US it was his first album. Joining forces with Bernie Taupin, the lyricist, and Paul Buckmaster, the string arranger. This is just fantastic that this is such an early album for Elton John. It's got some of his greatest songs on here. Bernie Taupin's lyrics are just fantastic. It starts out with Your Song. Man, I love that song. Lyrics are so great. Love the strings on there. I love the line, "If I was a sculptor," but then again, no. That's funny. But man, just a great song, great ballad. "I Need You to Turn To" has a harpsichord in it. I love that. And just another ballad. "Take Me to the Pilot." That's such a great rocking song. I love the piano on there. I love the kind of gospel feel on there. "No Shoestrings on Louise" kind of has a Rolling Stones feel to it. The first episode at Hyanton is just so hauntingly beautiful. There's a theremin on there. Uh, Very poetic lyrics on there as well, just about two young people who were friends when they were younger, but then fall in love later on. And one of them's name is Valerie. Talk about Valerie a lot. And then we get 60 Years On, another very haunting song about growing old. The strings are just so scary at the beginning, but then they get really cool later on. "Border Song" is another gospel song. I love that song. Great song. "The Greatest Discovery" is a really cool song about learning that you have a baby brother. "The Cage," that's another rockin' song. I love the guitar on that one. And then "The King Must Die" is such a haunting way to end the album. It's very grand, very almost Shakespearean lyrics. Fantastic song. I love this album so much. So good. Okay, number 19. We got I think this is the highest Rolling Stones on the list. Fantastic Rolling Stones record. This is the last one with Brian Jones on it, and the first one with Mick Taylor on it. I hate when the track listing is out of order. I'm gonna have to look it up on the. Yeah, I think I know the track listing well enough. "Give Me Shelter," iconic song to open the album. Kind of about the dangers and kind of the uncertain political climate that they were living in the '60s. Love the duet. The singer who's doing the duet with Mick Jagger, she is fantastic. Her little break in the middle, so powerful. "Love in Vain," that's a cool little country sounding song. I like that one. "Country Honk" is a country version of "Honky Tonk Women." I think that's cool. I like the single version better, but the country version is really cool. "Live With Me," that's got a really great bass line. It was played by Keith Richards, funny enough, not by Bill Wyman. The second side of this album is absolutely perfect. "Midnight Rambler," it's kind of a borderline progressive song, a progressive rock song. Very bluesy, great harmonica from Mick Jagger. I love that one. That's so cool. You got The Silver is a song sung by Keith Richards. That's a really good one. It's like a psychedelic country song. And then you got Monkey Man, Mick Jagger singing, I'm a monkey, I'm a monkey. Always funny whenever I get to I'm a cold Italian pizza. Such a funny line. And then You Can't Always Get What You Want. Such a really cool way to close this album out. Man, I love You Can't Always Get What You Want. It's my favorite Rolling Stones song. It starts with a choir, and there's a French horn, and it just gets more and more crazy as the song goes on, but it's just epic. Great, great Stones album here. Let me go to the comments. Yes, it is a great album. All right. Now we're going to get to one where I'm definitely the biggest fan of this album in the Music Junkies and this band in particular, I think. Steely Dan, Asia. Love this record so much. It's so perfect. Donald Fagen and Walter Becker just spent lots of time crafting these songs. Lots of jazz influence on there. Black Cow is such a funky number. I love the keyboards. Do, do, do. Do, so infectious. So outrageous. Great drumming as well. Title track, Asia, has the coolest drum solo ever. I love the drums on there. I love the saxophone played by Wayne Shorter. It's amazing. Deacon Blues, man, what a song. Deacon Blues, great jazzy number. Peg, super funky. I love the backing vocals from Michael McDonald. Home at Last has such a shuffle, like great drum shuffle played by Bernard Purdy. I Got the News. There's another song with backing vocals by Michael McDonald, and then Josie. Great way to end the album. It's a fantastic record there. Perfect jazz rock album. Yeah, that's your favorite Rolling Stones song as well. I'm not as big on Asia, but you're like, yeah, Peg is a great song. Now we're gonna get to an album. Last night we were getting Ryan Cam in trouble for saying I think that all of us should like Elvis's version, but I think that all of us should like this next album because it's impossible not to like this album. Thriller by Michael Jackson, the greatest selling album of all time for a reason. So many great songs on here. One of the first records that I ever bought. I mean, not this particular copy. I bought a reissue, but this is an original copy. Just a perfect album. Want to be starting something. Mama say, Mama sama makusa. Mama say, Mama sama makusa. That's gonna get stuck in your head. Baby Be Mine. That's a great pop song. Cool synthesizer on there. The Girl Is Mine. Do it with Paul McCartney. I love when Paul McCartney goes, The Girl Is Mine. And this hits that really low note. Thriller. That's a classic song. Classic music video. Great for playing at Halloween. Beat It with its iconic guitar solo from Eddie Van Halen. That's a great rockin' number. Billie Jean, probably his most famous song. Infectious drum groove. Billie Jean is not my love. Human Nature, which is a song written by, I think it was one of the members of Toto, because the backing band on this album is actually members of Toto. PYT, another classic song. And then The Lady in My Life. Yeah, just another perfect album. Yeah, that's a great song. Okay, now we're going to get back to my favorite band. The Beatles. With their album Rubber Soul. I've always loved this album. This is the second Beatles album I ever listened to. The first was Sgt. Pepper's. Kind of got like a folk rock feel to most of the songs. Very heavily influenced by Bob Dylan as well. This album and Help are really Bob Dylan influenced. But it starts out with Baby You Can Drive My Car. I love that song. I love the guitar solo. I love the beep, 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 yeah. Norwegian Wood is the first Beatles song to have a sitar on there, which is really cool. It's kind of a modal song. You Won't See Me is a fantastic song as well. Nowhere Man has some of the best harmonies ever. I love the like the harpsichord sounding piano solo that's played by George Martin on there. Think for Yourself, great George Harrison song. Harrison's finally becoming a great songwriter on this album. I love the fuzzy bass from Paul McCartney. The Word, another great pop song there. Michelle, I've always loved that song. Love the guitar playing. Love the French spoken part. What Goes On gets way too much hate. I actually like What Goes On. It's a Ringo sounding country song. Ringo country sounding song. Girl, love that song as well. I love the part where it kind of like switches tempos and it's like doop, 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 doop. She's the kind of girl who put you down with friends and then you'll feel a fool. Doop, 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 doop. When you say she's looking good, it's understood she's cool. Ooh. I love that. I love I'm looking through you. I'm looking through you. Where did you go? Wait, where did I say the harpsichord sound and piano solo was? That's on In My Life. In My Life is my favorite song on this album. I love the harpsichord sound and piano solo is on this one, not on whatever other song I said. I love the guitar riff. One of John Lennon's best songs. If I Needed Someone is a great George Harrison song. Kind of sounds like the Byrds. And then Run for Your Life. The music is really great, but the lyrics are a little problematic. Yep, that is one of the best albums of all time. Rubber Soul is. Okay, now we're gonna get to another one of my favorite bands. Right, Escaped by Journey. I have always loved this album. This album is fantastic. This is the first Journey album to feature the piano player Jonathan Cain, and oh man, it has what you would think of the definitive lineup of Journey on there. Steve Perry is one of the greatest singers of all time. You open up the record with Don't Stop Believing. Like, what a way to open the album. Love the piano on that one. I love the guitar when it goes. Stone in Love. That's probably my favorite song on this album. The guitar is heavy. The solo. This is one of the best outro guitar solos. Like, the outro guitar solo on the Stone in Love is like one of my favorite guitar solos ever. It's so melodic, but he gets a little time to shred as well. Who's Crying Now? Beautiful ballad. Love the piano there, and I love the solo at the end of that one. Keep on Running. That's a really great song. I love the energetic guitar on there. Still They Ride. My goodness, that should have been a big hit. Amazing ballad, and I think Still They Ride is probably Neil Sean's most difficult to play solo on this album because there's a lot of really fast licks on that one. Escape. I love that one. They can't take me. They won't break me. Dun, 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 dun. Lay It Down features Steve Perry's highest note. Man, when he hits that high note, I can't even do it in my falsetto. I can't even hit that in my falsetto. It's such a high note. Dead or Alive is a good song. It's my least favorite on the album, but it's still got some good guitar. Mother, Father, oh my gosh, that song is fantastic. Steve Perry nailed that one in one take, vocally. And then Open Arms, another beautiful ballad. Man, such a great album. I love this album so much. Oh, hey, somebody subbed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you like this, try checking out my other videos. We're getting pretty close on the list to my number one album, but I've made videos for all the other ones. I'll have to check out your channel if you sub to me. I always like to check out the channels of people who subscribe to my channel. Okay, number 14. We're getting down to the really, really important albums. The Wall by Pink Floyd. Man, I've told the story about why this album is important. Check out my review on The Wall if you want to hear that, but my goodness. This album is just fantastic. Like, it's a very simple looking cover. It's just a brick wall. There's a sticker on the front that has Pink Floyd The Wall, and then on the inside there's all these weird drawings. This album tells a story about a rock star who kind of alienates himself from the world because of traumatic things that happen in his life and realizes that he needs people in his life. But there's some Pink Floyd classics on here, like Another Brick in the Wall and Comfortably Numb. Hey You, Run Like Hell. But like all those songs are best enjoyed in the context of this album. Like you got to hear them in the context of the album because it makes so much more sense. Like they each tell the story. Uh, Great guitar playing from David Gilmour here. Great bass playing from Roger Waters. Singing is great. I like Richard Wright's keyboard playing here. Nick Mason's drumming. Just because this is a story, like the story on here is so much stronger than Tommy. Whenever I did my video on Tommy, I said that I hated the story to Tommy, and then it was weird, didn't make sense. The story works in favor of this album. The story is one of the strongest elements of this album. All right. Got a couple of Journey albums. Yeah, Escape, and then Frontiers is another great album, but I didn't have that one on my list, sadly. Oh, did you just spot the wall? Cool. Or Escape. Yeah, really great album, Jason. Treach, if you haven't subscribed to Jason the Old Millennial, go check him out too. Really great channel. Yeah, it just has the wall, but I don't know how it got it, but there's a sticker on it. This is an original copy. It's not. The later ones don't even have it as a sticker. They just put it on the album, but it's a sticker on there. We don't need no education. Yeah, that rings real strong when you're a kid. Used to drive your mom crazy singing along to that song. It kind of takes on a different meaning when you listen to it in the album, though. Okay, here they are again. The Beatles. Number 13, Revolver. A lot of people, this is their number one favorite album of all time. For me, it's 13. And then here's the back. Love this album to death. This is so good. This is where the Beatles kind of start getting psychedelic in their sound. Taxman, one of the great George Harrison songs. I love the counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I love Paul McCartney's guitar solo and the witty lyrics. Eleanor Rigby is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard. I love the string section on there. I'm Only Sleeping. Such a trippy song with the backwards guitar. Love You Too, another one with a sitar on there. That one's great. Here, There, and Everywhere. Beautiful McCartney ballad. Yellow Submarine, that's a fun song from Ringo Starr, or sung by Ringo Starr, I should say. She said that song is a rocker. Good Day Sunshine, I love that song. It's fun. I love the piano solo. And Your Bird Can Sing, another rockin' song. I love the guitar on that one. For No One, masterpiece of a song. I love the French horn on there. Sad, sad lyrics. My goodness. I love Got to Get You Into My Life. I love the horns on there. I love McCartney's vocal performance there. And Tomorrow Never Knows is one of the trippiest things I've ever heard. It's so good. Yeah, Comfortably Numb is a good choice. The guitar solo on that is just on another level. All right. Now we're going to get to an album. Whenever I made this list, I said I wasn't going to change anything. This next album would still be on my list, but I put it way too high up on the list because it was a recent listen earlier than this fall. Still love the album. I don't know if I put it at 12 now, but I said I wasn't going to change anything. Here it is. Station to Station by David Bowie. This is my favorite David Bowie album. It's a pretty good mix of his experimental side and his commercial side. This came right after Young Americans, which was a more soul, like he called it plastic soul. It was kind of like David Bowie's version of soul music, which that already kind of shocked the public because people knew him as doing glam rock, and now he's going to do a soul album. Like that was totally out of left field. This album kind of marks the bridge between that and his more experimental Berlin trilogy. The song Station to Station is the closest David Bowie gets to doing progressive rock. It's 10 minutes of just epicness. It starts out with just these weird like train noises, and it sounds like a machine is going, and it's like we drive from station to station, and then it picks up speed and it goes into an all-out disco song. David Bowie was doing way too much cocaine at this time, and so he doesn't even remember making this album. He even references that in this song and says, "It's not the side effects of the cocaine." I'm like, nope, it is. It is. You've been doing too much. Golden Years, I love that song. He wrote it for Elvis Presley. And apparently Elvis Presley wasn't able to record it, but he sent him a letter saying that he loved the song. Word on a Wing, that's a lovely ballad. I like that one. TVC 15, that's a fun song about somebody who gets eaten by a TV. Weird lyrics, but it's a really good song. I love the song Stay. That's probably my favorite song on this album is Stay. It's got like this funky disco feel to it. I love the guitar. And there's like a mellotron on there. The chorus is so catchy. Stay, that's what I have to say. And there's great percussion on here as well. And then Wild as a Wind. It's a cover of like a jazz song, but man, the song's so good. Treach says his son and him started doing vinyl streams about a month or two ago along with other musics. Okay, I'll have to check your channel out. That sounds fun. You probably know where... Yeah, I think I know, Jason. That's a pretty good album. Vinyl Wednesday. Oh, I like that. Vinyl Wednesday. Interesting pick. Yeah, I don't know if I would put it at 12 next time I make the list, but I just really liked the album when I heard it. Yeah, stay off the cocaine. When we're gonna do on this channel, we're doing a David Bowie review series, and I can't wait to talk about this album because some of the stuff that like he was very paranoid because of the drugs too. Okay, now we're gonna get to number 11. This album went up on my list. The Beatles, aka the White Album. And we're doing a 2-part review on this album on Jacob Martin's channel. Go check out Jacob Martin's channel. We're actually doing the second part tonight at 9 o'clock my time, I think. Or maybe 8. So I'm not going to give my extremely in-depth thoughts. If you want to hear those, check out those videos. But man, this album is just everything in the kitchen sink. All kinds of genres. The Beatles are just at the top of their game songwriting. Yeah, there's some misses like Revolution Number 9, Wild Honey Pie, Why Don't We Do It in the Road? But like the good stuff on here is just fantastic. It plays really well as a whole. So love the White Album. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to check the comments real quick. Yeah, check that out, and then I'll be sure to check your channel out. All right, thank you very much for watching this stream. Next time, it's my top 10 favorite albums of all time. Stay tuned. Remember, music is art, and art is expressed.